Hey guys, David with the Wholesaler's Toolbox. Yesterday I did a video about starting your own boots on the ground business and why that is so great for real estate wholesalers. Not only does it give you an additional stream of income, but if you're struggling getting going in wholesaling because you're nervous talking to buyers or sellers, or you don't know how to negotiate a deal, or you don't, you just feel like you haven't learned the process yet, having a boots on the ground business is a perfect stepping stone in getting into that business because you make connections with cash buyers. You get practice going out and seeing people selling their property. You take pictures of the property. You're doing all these things, but you're not actually a participant in the deal. You're just helping, right? You're helping a virtual wholesaler that may be doing the deal in town, and you can take the contract out for them, or you can go take pictures for them, or meet a buyer or whatever, but you're not physically doing it. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat the whole video again about, starting the boots on the ground business, but in the description, I'm going to put a link to it. Okay. And you can watch it and then come back and watch this video. Also, I'll try to get it to pop up here above this video. So in this video, though, this is part two. I want to talk about actually doing an inspection. And this is good for boots on the ground business. And it's also good if you're just a wholesaler going out to take pictures or video of a property, because it's a skill you need to develop. All right. So, what I've done is I want to show you some inspection pictures and videos to show you what you really need to do when you go out to a property. All right. So the first thing I want to do is share my screen with you. All right. Give me just a second here. Entire screen. All right. And then I'm going to hop over to this right here. This is a inspection. It's just a sample inspection that I did to show you what you need to do. Now, this one really is more for a property that has been, this was in the process of being rehabbed, but it's a rehab project. So you want to go out and take good marketing pictures for the person. If they're hiring you to take pictures so they can, sell the property or rent the property or whatever. But the picture angles and everything are good for no matter what you're doing. If you're taking a pre-purchase photo set where somebody's interested in buying the property, you're going to do the same kind of pictures. The only difference being with those pictures, you're going to make sure to take photos of all the damage to the house, right? Because if they're buying a house or they're thinking about buying a house, you want to show them, if the neighborhood's bad, you want to show them if the roof's bad, or windows are broken or whatever. So you're just going around looking for issues with the house. In this, we're not necessarily doing that, but again, the pictures are the same angles and everything. So in here, I start with street photos, right? I want to show them, the street looks good or the street looks bad. This is what all the neighbor houses look like, right? So they can get a good feel for where the property's at. Now, it's this photo. I take different angles of the front and the sides, the rear, and all that stuff. But this photo is a good marketing photo. You can see the driveway's all new. You can see the garage in the background and everything. So when you're taking the photos, you want to be concerned about how they look, how could you put this on a marketing flyer and would it look good, right? So we've got a side angle, we've got a front angle, we've got an angle to the other side here, towards so you can see the end of the house or the side of the house. Here's a porch picture. Now, see, if the porch was crumbling, you would want a picture like this to show that they need repair, right? You can see above the window here, or above the door, that maybe that needs a little bit of work, right? But I'm just going around taking good quality pictures. There's a roof, a close up of the roof so they can see the condition. Windows, showing the windows look good in the property. New valve outside for the garden hose there. Sidewalks are in good shape for the most part. Little trip hazard there up on the top of the screen. Apron looks good to the street. Right. So you just want good exterior pictures of the property. And again, I take, anywhere probably between 100 and 130 photos per visit on an inspection like this. There's a showing the new meter on the back of the house. All these things are important to an investor that's buying a property or somebody interested in buying the property. There's a drop from the power line. Garage. People often forget the garage, but that's also important. All right, then I go into the house and I'm showing the entryway. Now, this house was still in the process of being rehabbed, but you still want to take pictures of the ceiling, the floor, the fixtures, everything throughout the house. There's multiple angles of each room. You can put your camera on wide angle if you want to get a better full shot of the room. I don't think I did that on these photos. You want to make, here's a bad picture that I took, and you want to try not to do this, but you can see my camera focus probably more on the door frame than it did into the room. So you want to tap, if you're using your cell phone or your smartphone, you want to tap, on the screen and tap the wall over in the center so it focuses into the room and not on the door frame. Try not to move your camera before the picture's done so that it doesn't blur when you move your phone. So review the pictures while you're doing this and just make sure that it's, they're good, they're high quality. They show everything that needs to be shown, because they're getting paid for it. You go out and do a photo inspection like this. I mean, you should be making, depending on the client, if they're giving you a lot of work or if it's a one-time deal, you can discount it if you're doing a lot of work for them. But you should make, if you're going out to do an inspection of the property, you should make between $100 and $150, minimum to go out and do this and take good photos and take good video. And I'll show you in a video in a minute how you just, walk through the property and just tell them what's going on. So it's interior pictures, again, floor, ceiling, thermostat, light fixtures, kitchen cabinets, how those look. See, this could be potentially a inspection for a rehab project that I would go out and do and take pictures before the property owner gives the next draw to the contractor, so they can make sure that the job is progressing like it's supposed to, right? And they're not just pocketing the money and not doing any work. And then we go down into, in the northern states, not in Florida, but in the, other states, you're going to have basements. So you want to go in and show if the basement walls, what kind of water damage are on the walls, make sure the walls aren't cracking up. If there's, make sure nobody's pulled the electrical out of the property. You want to make sure all the electric lines are, there and they haven't been cut out. It's under the stairs. This is the water line coming in. You can see the water, nobody's cut the copper pipe out of the basement, or it's been replaced, one of the two. Ceiling in the basement, all the electricals there. And then you always want to show the, we're going to get to those in a second, but the furnace, the hot water tank, electrical box, laundry tub, because those are big dollar items and people want to make sure that they're, the electric box, the electrical is updated. Here's the furnace. Oh, that picture's upside down, actually. That's funny. But the, all new ductwork, new furnace, new plumbing, new hot water tank, right? All those things are important on a inspection, and equally would be important if you had a bad water tank and a bad furnace or a missing furnace or whatever, right? So anyway, that's what your photo set should look like, and I will link to this under the video so you can save it and do that. Now, a lot of time, or I'm sorry, I'll put the link down there so you can refer to it and save it. Now, a lot of times people would want a property condition report when I went there, or they just want it in writing. So I made this up for you. If you get this will help you a lot if you get the website template that I'm offering. But here's a file you can use, or a form you can use, and just make a copy of this. Right, just go in here because I'm just sharing it, so you won't be able to edit it. But go in here, file, and just do make a copy, and it will copy to your Google Drive. Okay. And so all you do really here is, if you want to put an order number, the person that ordered it, the date, the client's name, email, inspection date, blah, 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 all the, important information there. Access information. Might want to put call somebody to get access, or a Dropbox. I'm sorry, a lockbox number or whatever you can put in there. All right. And then you just go down, and really, if you don't know this stuff, it's all right. You can look it up. You can Google it or whatever. But property type, is going to be single family. Construction type would be either brick or frame, frame being a wood construction, brick being, of course, brick, or you could put stucco or whatever. Number of units, it's either going to be a single family unit or multifamily, a 2 unit or 4 unit. Garage, yes. Neighborhood, good. Exterior condition. And you're just going down and giving your opinion on everything. Is there anything, is everything here good, or is it something damaged? Right. You can put chipping window paint, yes. And down here, you can put comments for that. Right. Then we go inside. You've got living room entry the same way, kitchen, and you can just put comments behind here, right? Yes, no, whatever. Dining room, bathroom, bedroom 3, right? Just down bedroom 4, bathroom 2 if there's a second bathroom. Right. And you're just filling it out, really, yes or no. Everything looks good, everything's bad, whatever needs a total rehab, whatever notes you want to put. Right. And you can even put redo this form if you want. If you want to make it longer or make it more detailed, you can certainly do that. Okay. So that is it for the inspection report. Now I want to hop over here to a couple of videos I pulled out. Now, when somebody was buying in Detroit, for example, they wanted to know what the neighborhood looked like, right? So I would do a video like this where I would just show them. I don't want to talk over myself there if you can hear that, but I'm just showing them the neighborhood, right? And the property they were having me look at was had some vacant properties next to it. And I was showing them that, right? I was showing them that, hey, look at, there's a lot of vacants around here. You might not want to get this house, right? You might, might want to think about it. This one, you can see the garage is collapsing down and stuff. So this is just a neighborhood, like a drive through the neighborhood kind of video. I did this in addition to the property walkthrough video. Okay, so let's close that one there. And then let's see, we'll pull up another one here. This was a walkthrough video for a property management company. And on this one, we'll let this play for a minute here. Okay, so I would just walk around, just like I did with the photos. I would walk around the property. I would highlight any damage to the property, what they would need to address, broken sidewalk, how are the windows? I'd zoom in on the windows. I'd zoom in on the roof, screens, here's the driveway along the property would be, this would potentially leak, so they needed to fill that in. But you're just really going around and looking for issues with these kind of properties. You can see the siding's damaged there, right? This was a post tenant move out, right? They had left the property, so I was just going to the property after the tenant left, and just showed what the condition of the property is. Here's where I walk into the property. Very typical rental property paint color. But but this is it. You're just being their eyes and ears of the property, right? You're just going in and showing them um, what the property needs. That's really it. I did so many of these, but they were all the same. I'm just showing the property, just showing the outside and interior. And some people want video, some people like video because you're talking to them. Some people like photos, some people like both. Some people like the property condition report, but charge extra for all those because you're doing additional work. So if you go out to a property and you've already walked through and made a made a video, and then you've got to go back through and do pictures of the property or whatever. That's additional work. If you need to sit down and fill out the property condition report, that's additional work. Now, often I would take the video, take the photos, and then when I came home in the evening, I would play back the video that I made and I'd fill out the property condition report from the video that I made because I knew when I was there, I highlighted all the damage and all that stuff. So I didn't stand there, in the cold filling out a paper. I would do it after the fact. But, some people want the documentation. So that's how you do the inspections. You're just taking good photos, you're taking good video, you're filling out the property condition report thoroughly so your customer knows what you're doing. Now, as far as what to charge for this service, again, I was doing this back a while ago. I mean, it was, 10 years ago when I started doing this. I didn't go out for under $100 or take that back. It was $99. Okay. It was my minimum. I would do that just to go out and do a video. All right. I go to the property. I didn't even have video on my phone. Then I had like a little video recorder that I bought, and I would record the video and I record it. And then I go to the next property and do that new, however many properties I had that day. And then I would come back and upload those videos to YouTube. And when I would bill my client, I would send a PayPal invoice, and I'd say, hey, your inspection's done. Here's the invoice, pay it. And I'll send the link, and they would pay it. And then I would send an unlisted link from YouTube to them, right? You didn't want to make it necessarily public, but just unpublished, or not unpublished, but a private link to your client so they could watch the video, right? And then if they didn't mind if you made it public, then you can do that, maybe possibly drum up more business. But so I would do that for $100. If they wanted the property condition report or photos or both, I would bump it up to, $150, right? I'm already there. It doesn't take me that long to go back around to do pictures, but it's more time, it's more involved, so you should get paid for it. And then depending on your area, I mean, if it's a lot of drive time, you might want to do more. If there's some, extenuating circumstance, you might want to do more. If it's for somebody that you're doing a lot of them for, now I would do these for property management companies and different things. So I might, sometimes reduce the price a little bit if they were giving me a volume of houses to do, right? So I might, the one company I was working for, I would charge them 150 to go out and do the photos and the video and everything. And then they would buy the property and rehab it. And then when the rehab was done, I would go back out and take marketing pictures for them when the rehab was done. And I think at the time I was charging them like 50 or 75 to go back out and take photos and that. So, but that's really it. I mean, you could add other services like putting, lock boxes on houses. So you would, you would get a lockbox from like Home Depot that you could put on the property and put the keys in it so people could get in. So you have to, find out what the lockbox costs and what you would charge to drive out there and do it. You could also meet potential buyers at a property. So I would charge, if you're not doing anything other than meeting with them and walking through the house, I would charge probably, $75 just to go out and meet somebody and walk through a property. But that's really based on what you want to do, right? You've got to figure out what it's worth for you to go out and do this, and just come up with your price list. And, you can put it on your website if you want, or just have it somewhere so you can, quote quickly to people. All right, so that's it on this. It's really a simple business. It's taking good pictures, it's taking good video, it's filling out that property condition report. In my next and final video, I'm going to talk about how to market this business, like who to reach out to, and how I drummed up business for it, and how I think you should drum up business for it. So that's it with episode number 2 here of the Boots on the Ground, and I will see you soon to talk about marketing. Okay, have a great day.